Okay. So, good afternoon. We will go through once again engineering preventive maintenance checklist, which we have implemented here. There is no need, I am recording the video online. Okay. So, the engineering preventive maintenance checklist, which we have implemented in OTA noodles. So, I will give a brief again.
What about what you're saying?
Sorry, it will record.
Okay.
So, I will give a brief again. The module is already packed inside. When you copy the file, whichever the factory you want to use, you can use it. Only thing you need to know, the tail end. Tail end means like you want to edit some of the checklist activities. That one you can do, right? We will go through it once again. So as I said, this is a form. We have a database which we have hidden already. So this is the form where the checklist activities will be shown according to the due date. So whichever is due, more priority will come first. So it will always show in negative. For example, this is the button which you will press if you want to pull all the activities. Okay. So we have some preloaded activities already, which will be displayed here now. So as you can see now, I have pressed this button. Okay, all means irrespective of which station it is. Once I press this, this is what, once we implement, this is what you want the factory people to do. They don't need to know further beyond this. They need to know what is the activity which I am supposed to complete for today or this week or next week. Okay, based on due date. For example, the details are as shown here. You can see the line is here. Which line the activity must be done, station, section, part, activity, then standard man hours, which we have described. If we have described already, it will be there. Then due date, then due number of days. So someone can check the calendar also. Someone can calculate, okay, this is due by next 2 days, next 3 days, whichever is possible for them, easy for them. Okay, so we must know one step further. This is what the factory people must know. So as you are the people to continue the system and replicate it in other factories, you must know one step further how we can add more activities to this, or how we can replace the existing activities. Okay. So as I said, here we cannot edit because we designed it for the factory people. They are the people to do it. They should not manipulate, right? So when you are going to train them to implement the system, you should only discuss, your scope is only this grade. You should not go beyond this. But as you want to know more further, I will take beyond this. Okay. So for example, before I go to that further sections, I will just let all of you know again that what are other activities or what are the other features that are there. For example, if you have listed out all the activities based on its due date, always it will arrange based on due date. Whichever is the first priority, it will show. For example, line 1 packaging 2 follow-up motor, replacement of worm gear, and it will take 3 man hours. This activity must be done immediately. This is the first activity they must do because it is due by tomorrow. So after this it is overdue, right? So the activities keep on increasing like this. For example, if you scroll down,
it is why some without the man hour.
We have not, once we sat in a table, we discussed, we asked Fulani, it was during one meeting we discussed. But later, after that, we conducted another training, like fryer training we conducted later. Okay, at that time you asked me to implement, but we didn't discuss about man hours. Fryer,
Should be ready.
temperature controller.
We can entry estimate, entry if there is something wrong, please correct it next time.
Okay, then I will ask.
Compulsory, we cannot put empty concept.
Correct. So I will suggest once I explain this today, I will expect the training team to assist me, gather the information for fryer, other activities which do not have the standard man hours. Please gather the information from engineering team. They should set the standard. Like for example, as we have seen already, here you can see line 2 steamer bearing, lubrication of bearing UCP 205 and pillow block.
Because why?
It
It's
is
better
empty.
you put data, there is the wrong data compare no data.
Hmm.
Right? Next time they can update.
Yes.
But you put empty ready, no one wants to update.
Correct. Correct.
That is the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. So we can do that, right? Okay. My expectation is you can list it out. You can filter out what are the activities that do not have standard man hours. Then seek the respective people. In our case, it's engineering department. Mr. Tegu and Mr. Agarwal, they should have a concern. You can discuss with Fulani. Fix a standard man hour, then you can implement it. Okay. So we will bring out that data first. So coming back, for example, this one is mentioned already. Man hour is mentioned. Okay. Line 4 packaging 10 control box, cleaning slip rings with contact cleaner. So they have mentioned 0.16 means 10 minutes. Okay, 0.08 means 5 minutes. So it is due in the next 2 days. So that is by 10th of December. They must have done this activity. Correct. So it keeps on going in the increasing order of due date. Okay. So we don't need to worry. Once this activity is done, we have update. We don't need to worry when it will come next. It will automatically calculate based on the due date. Okay. That logic also we will know when we are learning further. So as of now, this is the case. So I will clear it. If in case, for example, a particular team leader, okay, he is only concerned about only for one line. So he needs to know only the line 1, the priority for that particular line. So in that case, he can pull. We have given them provision. He can choose only that line, then he can pull. It will display, the activities will display, only the activities will be displayed only for line 1 in the increasing order, due date, okay. So we can, when we are training them, we should tell them that, okay, if you are only concerned with one particular line, just choose the line and do it. Correct? So this is the logic, okay, for them to make their job easy. For example, auto dispenser man, there is dedicated person in OTA and Potargo. So they don't want to check silo, mixer, everything. So for them, their concern is only auto dispenser. So we have provision for them to only choose the station. Okay. So they can choose only auto dispenser here. So it will pull only for auto dispenser. Okay, line wise. So we have the provision. So anytime you can clear. And remember, when we are training them, it is not editable. All the activities they cannot delete, they cannot manipulate. Standard man hours, whatever it is displaying is standard. They cannot manipulate it, right? So this is the system. Okay, so now I will let you know, when you are closing the file, just press cancel. It will ask you whether you want to save or not save. Depending on what you want to do, just you can go ahead. Correct. Then yeah, once it is displaying, you can print, okay, because computer is in the office, but we want the people to do the activity on the production. So we cannot expect them to remember all the activities for today. So we have given them provision, we can print, okay. When you copy this file into Potar code, the default printer attached to it, it will automatically print from that file. Just make sure that there is a printer connected to that computer to which you are displaying, okay. So it will print 3 pages times 46, almost 120 activities, correct. 40 rows. This is one row, this is now second row. So like that, 40 rows times 3 pages we have given space, because they cannot do more than 120 activities in a day. So they need to print, if they want to print, they can print daily, right. So what they normally supposed to do is, they print this activities, then they go to the line, whatever the activities they can complete within their shift or within that day, both running maintenance and preventive maintenance, they will do it, and then they will tick on the paper the one they printed out. Then they must submit it to their supervisor. He should acknowledge it, then they should submit it to the engineering office. So engineering office, presently the technical administrator in engineering office, Tolu, she is the one updating in the computer. So she knows the password to update. Otherwise people will just update in the paper, meanwhile they will not do the job. So there must be check and balance system. So this is where I found the first difference between OTA and Potar code. In Potar code they implemented the same system, but instead of engineering person, like right now Tolu is updating, in Potar code the person updating is FM secretary. So
Yeah,
this
but
is one
it's-
difference I have seen. Yeah?
They have done it, she might not even know. They have not done it, she won't know. I guess.
No, tick. I said the activities they print, right? Then engineers will do the activity as per the checklist.
Yeah.
Whatever they have done, they will tick it on the paper.
Yes.
They submit, they sign, get it signed from the team leader and the technical manager. Then they submit it to FM secretary. So FM secretary is updating in Porter code. In here only our Tolu is updating. So this is one difference I have seen. Okay. Then number two difference I have seen is this one is purely preventive, meaning, for example, replacement of wound gear, right? If this activity is scheduled here, in OTA, they have to do it. They have to do it. But in Porter code, what they are doing is more of a kind of predictive. What they do is, they will check the worm gear first. If it is not still wrong, I mean bad, they will say it is condition is okay and they will just submit it. Okay, if it is not okay, they will raise, there is another form. They will, when they say not okay, another form will appear. In that they will say that they will select the date they want to replace. So it is like they found a problem and then they are going to rectify it. But here, no matter whether it is bad or good, we have to replace means we have to replace. That is the system we are following here. So this is second difference I have seen between OTA and Porter code.
But what,
So-
if it's, what if the part is good, the one gear is still good, but the replacement date is due? We replace it. What happens to the gear? We have to come back and use it again? The service.
No, here, that's why we look at the inspection of slip ring, for example, right, We don't know the condition, right? That's why inspection.
Yes.
Check,
Correct.
You need to replace or not. But the other activity mostly maintenance, right, lubrication, right, check the condition, right, oil level, right?
Yes.
You must do it is routine.
I think your question, if I am getting it right, what you are asking is, what if this date is not exactly the day they want to replace? Is that your question?
No, he's
Let's
saying
say
that
it is
what
due
we
for
will have
today.
to-
It's due for replacement today.
Yes.
Machine is still
And we
practicing.
must replace.
Yes, according to preventive maintenance concept, you have to replace.
But the part is still.
But the part is still functioning. So in OTA, the system says here that we have to replace. If they have not replaced, they should not tick that the job is done. But in Porter code, the system is that they find it, whether it is working, still condition is good, whether we can still allow it for some time. If they cannot allow it, they will replace it and then they will say the activity is done. But if there is a chance that we can still continue with that part,
Because the problem, the weakness of the system are called. Sometimes their eyes not sensitive, they don't see okay, meanwhile they already have problems.
Yes,
Right.
correct,
That's
correct.
why should be technical manager should be it should be you must replace already 3 years, right? Replace,
Correct,
So it
correct.
still can save. Maybe
Yes.
it's a month only, not possible it is for long life, right?
yes, yes, correct.
Right, we already look, only several month only compare you downtime, one time, right?
Yes.
We replace this, right?
Correct. Yeah.
What he's saying that if the part we replace now is still okay,
It is
based
why,
on,
very-
based on preventive maintenance.
I agree.
Now
That's
you
why
replace it.
once-
The parts now, what do you
Yes,
do about
replace.
it? The one that is removed, what do you do to it?
That's why we can estimate, right? Because like bearing, you observe like raw press. You have 7 state continuous raw press, right? 14 and 24, one pair, right? Bearing.
Yes.
You know, it mostly already spoiled during 3 years. Replace all.
That I agree.
Right? No need you wait. Oh, some of them not spoil. Oh, you wait long time in it, right?
Now there are some parts like, for example, gearbox. You remove gearbox based on you have to remove a complete gearbox, which is still working fine, and you took it out, you put a new one, for example, on there. The one you remove, what do you do to it? Probably service it again. It's still used, it's still going to be used now because you cannot throw away that gearbox.
Correct.
That's why you must update
Yes.
the schedule or the preventive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In that case, you know what? For example, here, let us say for example replacement of mixer gearbox. Okay, we have planned to replace that activity is mentioned here. Every 3 months it must be done. In a case whereby in OTA, let us assume we go to replace that part, but the gearbox is still okay. You replace it. Okay, you will replicate that same activity whenever the activity is due in line 1, line 2, you do it.
Yeah.
After some time, you realize that the lifetime is extended. In case that 3 months is very short, our gearbox can go up to 4 months. Come back here, you are the people who have to
Modify that.
and yes, you have to extend the time. Instead of 3 months, you can keep 5 months or 6 months. Correct? So, if you really embrace the system, it is good. Correct? Only thing is, if we understand only 50%, 60%, then we will think, okay, this system has so many drawbacks. If you really understand the system, if we follow it, it will be okay.
Yeah, because no one everything fix. The same as spare part, correct? Huh? Correct? You fix, Oh, should be, it is, when you reorder level, correct? You put them. Correct? But one time after you improve, you modify, maybe, you're not conscious too much again. No need you reorder 10, maybe 5. You must, you must change the system. Correct? But one time, no one care, no lubrication, right? Every time spoil, you must increase the number of reorder level, right? It is sometimes the condition, right? Dynamic, not static. Everything not static.
Correct. So, yeah, let's go further. So, this is what they must know. Okay. So, apart from that, what they know is, for example, once they have printed, they want to do the activities that is due for today and tomorrow, okay? I mean tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Due means due days by 1 and 2. So they have printed out all the activities. They are going to do these activities in the line. Then they want to update, they will come here. Update. So this update must be done by a person who is trustworthy.
Your here data update online. Only the factory only can look online, or we can look online.
We can look online, but as of now, only within factory. If I contact MIS, Emmanuel can give extension in corporate also.
Maybe let's get our we can monitor.
Yes.
Especially new factory, right?
Yes, correct.
After
Yeah.
we train, we must monitor. If not, we not know.
Yeah, correct.
Really,
Correct.
So we can monitor by our computer,
correct,
our
correct.
people.
Correct. Sure, I will ask. Because even for the quality report, we want Mr. Partha is interested in the data from OTA. So he wants to check by daily basis. So he is asking for that rights. So I am discussing with Emmanuel. We will do that.
Yeah, for all factory, we can access.
Okay, there is a local access network we can create. Yeah. Okay. So actually I forgot the password. I will ask Tolu whether she has changed.
No. That's what it is.
Sorry?
19999.
No, that is for QA. I think 2016. So I don't remember. But as of now, you must know. In update column, presently in OTA, Tolu is going and updating each activity they have done. They mark tick, right? So those activities she will go and pick. She will say it is it is done. Then she will record the date. Date will come. Default date will be today's date. Then if it was done yesterday, if she is updating today, for example, yesterday was Sunday, she will not be around. Monday means she will just change the date. Then she will say it is done as a part of repair or maintenance or overhauling. Then she will post it. So once she has done that update, for example here, activity that is due for tomorrow, okay? This particular activity, replacement of worm gear. I will take you to that place, whether it is a monthly activity or quarterly activity. But engineers don't need to know all those things because we are making their life very simple. Here, they must do it by tomorrow. The activity is due by tomorrow. This activity, packaging, follow-up motor, replacement of worm gear. Once they have done it and Tolu has updated it, let us assume that this is a half-yearly activity, means every 6 months. Once she has updated, the system will automatically change this activity to next 6 months. So it will come as default due in the next 6 months. So we don't need to worry about that. That is the purpose of this program. Correct? The program is taking care of this already.
No, when we want to change the period, it means we change the due date, right?
Change to that annually or quarterly or.
Sorry?
That's the plan.
When to be 3 months, now we want to change the schedule to be 4 months.
Okay, that one is additional. I will come to that. But as of now, I am explaining whatever the things that engineering people must know.
Yes.
The factory people must know.
Yes.
That one only we can do. or you can give only certain people. We cannot tell the engineering people, otherwise they will come and change.
Really for us, it is right.
Yeah. I will come to that. I am only explaining right now what is necessary for you people to teach. For you, when you are going to Port Harcourt, Chinchin, what you must tell them, that is what I am explaining, the basics. I will tell you how to modify things.
Then like Tina, right? How he evaluate how many percent?
I will tell that also. I have already told her, and Kuldeep and Barry knows, but anyway, I will explain. So this is what they must know, the basic things. When you are training them, this is the basic they must know. Then for them also to know, in case, for example, in OTA, line 5 is coming, right? Line 5 is coming, carton caser is coming. So activities will come newly every year. It will increase. There was no silo 2 years before, but presently there is silo.
In OTA, I don't know what the idea. Line 3 will move to line 5.
Yes.
Then will come to line 3, 4.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
So we already record line 3 as line 3. Now
Yes.
we move to line 5.
Correct.
So how to make a line? I don't want the all data, already mixed up.
Correct. Yeah.
How to do like this? Something still confused, right? Because
That means we will have to remove everything about line 3 and modify it to line 5. At line 5.
because you check to be line
Because
5,
we
all
will-
data, they still record as line 3.
Yeah. No, we are going to modify line 3. That's what I'm saying. Because line 3 now, all line 3 now will not be line 5. And it's not, it might be a single machine as I heard. I heard it's not a double machine, it's one single machine. So we have to remove packaging 8 totally from the system, which is on line 3 now. Because the line 3 now is line 5, one single machine. So it's like removing the whole line 3 out, creating a new forum for line 5 as a new line. Because it will be a new line to our own eyes. That's the one you're moving. It's no longer the same line.
Yes, yes.
So we are having 2 lines being added. Then the former line 3 will be removed totally. Because everything will
But
change.
all data mix up next time, right?
No, I don't think it will be a problem. Once we move, okay, we don't need to erase the past data, but we know from when line 3 has been moved.
Yes.
So we only update if, let us say, carton caser will be added to line 3. We only update those activities. We only add those activities.
Because other things will still remain the same.
Correct.
Same
For
packaging,
example,
same
whatever pertaining to line 3, we have scheduled for replacement. We will make it starting point, but we don't need to erase the previous data. We can do that. But anyway, if there are some challenges, I will think about the logic.
So
I will
we
share.
will need to, if line 3 comes
Thank you.
today now, we may need to edit this form. Wherever we see line 3, it will be changed to 5
Hmm.
to reflect this line 3 that moved to become line 5 now.
But he wants it.
Like Saba said, we have to take note when this line 3 turned to line 5.
Hmm.
So we'll be synchronizing the data.
Complete the weekend, complete all.
All my things are okay.
We'll upgrade complete line.
Whatever you are talking will record. So, okay, this is what you must. So, in case.
Copying is specific, like as you say, most of this person and they want to copy only their own printing.
Yes.
So we had some issues some time ago where they tried to, so Jacob was trying to pull out only packaging and he was still printing
All.
still printing all lines. So
But it was not possible, but anyway, I will try to print.
Selection of.
no, it's possible selection. We did I did selection and it worked.
It worked, right?
It worked out.
Okay.
When I went to that what they call it, the other place, not here, the Excel file side. That's
You
where I
went
got
there.
it.
No, it must work with here itself.
So like it was protected and it was recovered.
Okay, I will try to find out what can do that. So now, so up to this is clear. So that is where we are coming. In case we have to teach this also, what we are going to see now. In case a new machine and new activities you want to add, we have to come to this place called add. Okay. So when we press this, when we open this add new activity, this is where we can add any new activity or any part or any station or any line, we can add it here. Okay. For example, line 5 is already added. I have already given a demo previously. So line 5 is already added. In future, let us assume that we want to add line 7. Sorry? Yeah, so we want to add line 7, okay? So just line 07. Then if we want to add new station also, carton caser. We can give a name. Substation. We can give anything what you want. You can add some part like bearing. So this is the very first time you are adding this. If you remember, I have explained already. This is the very first time you are adding line 7 and carton caser. In that case, you have to check this box.
Add new.
Add new, because line 7 is not in your record. Correct. Line 7 is not in your record. If you want, this is the very first time you are adding, you must check this box. If not, you can leave it. For example, line 1, silo. You are adding no substation. You are adding one particular part, but line 1 is already in your record. Silo is already in your record. So no need to check this box. If you check this box in a case where already it is there, each activity will duplicate. Means when you are seeing the activity list here, it will be 2 times. Replacement of worm gear, replacement of worm gear. Same line, same packaging. So let us pay more attention to this. Only when you check this box, if there is a necessity that you are adding a particular line or a particular station for the very first time. If you are not adding, don't check this box. That is clear. If not, to avoid duplication. Okay. So that is the thing. So as usual, if you want to add any new activity, what you are going to do is you will add like here. For example, just give me an example.
What about if it's a new activity on packaging machine? I has not been recorded, but the line is already.
Okay, in that case, you don't need to check this box. For example, let us put
Let's say
line 1. Okay.
Let's say gearbox was recorded on packaging.
No, I will give you a live example.
Okay.
We were never using packaging 2.
Okay. Packaging one.
Packaging 1. But packaging 1, anyway, I have already input because there was a forecast that we will use. Packaging 6, right? But even packaging 6 is recorded. Okay.
I understand what you're saying.
So, for example, let us say that mixer, we are adding one particular part for inspection. Can we say
Maybe like
Double feeder.
this is sample file? We can add
example,
anything.
gear motor. You are putting gear motor.
Gear motor. Okay. So we can add gear motor. Please pay attention to the spellings you are using. Once you make mistake here, once they make mistake, for you no problem, because I am going to let you know how you can backtrace it also. But factory people may not know, because you are not going to tell them everything, right? Once they make spelling mistake here, and when they were doing the activity, if they type the correct spelling, it may not match, because program does not have brain, no? It will act as per what you do, what you ask it to do. So make sure that the very first time they are adding the activity or the part, they are very clear. Okay. So you are adding an activity, gear motor, in gear motor, right? So here you have to describe whether it is going to be a daily, bi-weekly. Bi-weekly means 2 times in a week. Weekly, once. Every maintenance, that is every 11 days or 10 days. Fortnightly, every 2 weeks once. Monthly, quarterly means every 3 months. Then 6 months, every year, every 2 years, every 3 years, every 5 years. So you have to describe it for the very first time. The first time you are adding an extra activity. Okay. So this is what you are going to tell them also, because the time after your training you will come, but new activities they want to add, so they have to come here and add. So this one we have to tell them very clearly how to do it. Correct. So for example, let us say gear motor is a every 6 months activity. Every 6 months once they have to check. And when they are going to start, this is where another thing they have to watch. If they want to start this particular activity, this activity is going to be every 6 months once, but they want to start this activity by January. So the date you must input here is 6 months from that of the date you want to plan. If they want to start, if they want to do this activity for the very first time by January 1st, so that means it must be July 1st. July 1st of this year.
6 months before.
6 months before. But if you have chosen here, monthly means, if you have chosen monthly here means, you must input 1st of December. Not 6 months before. It is based on this duration, what you are giving. So, once you have input, this is a monthly activity and the planned start date, once you have recorded 1st of December, it will automatically plan this activity starting from 1st of January. Monthly means every 30 days. So, 31st of December or 1st of January, it will record. From there, it will keep on continuously going. Correct? So, 1st of January, then 1st of February, it will keep on. Once your addition of activity is only one time activity. You have to do it only once. After that, the calendar will automatically update continuously. Okay? Yeah.
What about this place you wrote duration and you want just to like 5 days and it's not on your program?
5 days, you have to match it with the nearest,
Okay, you have to
nearest, yeah.
Weekly only.
Yeah, you can make it weekly, right?
Yeah, it should not different too much.
Too much, right? But there is a way you can do that also. I can tell you, not a problem.
No problem.
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly is every 3 days once, right? So you can do that. But these are all common denotions,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
In preventive
I know,
maintenance.
yes.
Okay. So what is the activity you have to specify? So inspection
Yeah, section.
of gear motor. Then standard man hours. It's normally 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes they can inspect. So 0.08. So now you have to add. So it will
What is the meaning cancel is?
cancel means in case you have made a mistake, you want to cancel it.
But already
What about the
add,
substation?
not in the meaning cancel again, right?
No, you cannot. But also you want to close the file, you can cancel.
What about you already add and you want to cancel?
That is only
You want to go back
advanced.
what you
You
have
can go
done.
back and edit.
Yes.
You cannot cancel it from this page
You
again.
have to go
You
to
cannot
Masa-
cancel from this page.
Masa-
That is why before adding each activity,
You have to
they
check.
must be careful. But I am going to tell you how to do that. But if you tell them, okay, you know what is the problem for
Where
us?
is those ones?
We must restrict them as much as possible to use only this form. They should not come to that database. If you tell them any single activity in that database, for each and every problem, they will come to that place and that.
That's why don't tell the if they need info us, we will correct it by ourselves, right? Already said.
Okay? Because all these questions you are asking, the answer is there. But you have to reach the database to do that.
Yeah.
For example, you ask me for every 5 days how to
Already
do
told
it.
me now, I don't.
Okay? But anyway, I am going to put you through, but make sure that you don't tell them because your
My friend-
your expectation is good. They should know everything, but they will misuse it. There is a chance we are giving them to misuse. That is why
What
we
part
should.
goes in?
Yes, correct. So, correct. So this is where you will add. Okay, but anyway, we can create one new area, which you said that in case if they make any error, how can we modify? This one activity is not complete, but anyway, I will try to finish this by today or tomorrow maximum. So Monday I will present so that they can modify in case they made a mistake. So how they can modify that? It will be here. So they will pull that one.
If update the period, it is the same as modifying.
That means
No, modify means
From 3 months to be 4 months, it is the same.
correct.
Keep on modify, right?
Correct. We can modify it here.
there's an error between the.
So we can modify here, but the activity is not complete. I will try to complete this.
Okay.
So this is what they must know if they want to add new activity. But for you people as a core team, for example, you are going to add preventive maintenance activities for pasta and chin chin. Okay, and the number of activities, you know, in OTA, the preventive maintenance activities, it's about 1000 now. You cannot add one by one like this, right? It will take so much time. So that is why I want you to directly do it in the database. Okay, I will let you know how we can do that. Okay, so
maybe for input in training, next time when you want to add into the system pasta or something or whatever, right? let's put the list complete. We discuss, agree, entry. Yeah? I don't want, partial everyone mention like this, right? Now, meanwhile, it is not correct, right? No? Because it is to be the system.
And we will discuss then.
Let's discuss. After that, we agree, right? No? We agree. So, not so many correction again. Right?
Correct.
Ah.
Correct. So what up to this is what they must know when you are training them, but you need to make it more elaborate, because since you already know this system, I have made it very simple. But when you are explaining them, make sure that you make a proper way of presentation material and then you can explain. So up to this is only what they must know. I have not only explained about the update part. I forgot the password, but I will get it.
Yeah, call out.
Huh? Yeah, you can ask. Correct.
That's why I said it's not working.
It's not working. No. I forgot 2016 or something like.
999.
But maybe 199. 199.
199.
Yeah, correct. So, okay, so this is the update column. When do we need to come here? When any activity is done and they want to update so that the calendar will refresh. Correct? So that is when we have to do the update. So this is the job currently Tolu is doing here, and in Port Harcourt FM secretary is doing. Okay. So now for example, this activity, these three are done today. The one which is due for tomorrow, the 4 activities which are due for tomorrow, let us say that they have done. So what Tolu is currently doing is, she will update whatever the activities listed here, it will appear in the same order here. Once she opens the update column, you can see that 4 packaging activities here. The same 4 appear here. After that, 2 aspiration tank, and it keeps on going in the same way how this list is showing you displayed. Okay. So her only job is to
Copy and
choose. I told you, if we give them chance to type, they will make error. And once they make error, for example, instead of packaging, if they make any spelling mistake here, it will not treat this activity and this activity as the same. So that is why we give them only chance to select from the drop down, not to type their value. Okay. Yeah. So packaging, which packaging? Packaging 2. Sorry. Packaging 2. Then follow-up motor. Replacement of worm gear. Let us say they have done it today. It is due for tomorrow, but they have done it today. So under what category? Was it done as a part of repair or maintenance? Let us say today was maintenance and they have done it as maintenance. What is the actual maneuver they have taken? So they must write in the paper. They are printing, they have to write. After taking, they have to write also. This one I have taken 5 minutes. This is just for a, it's not necessarily, we cannot expect them to be accurate. Yeah. They are not using stopwatch, but approximate value they must write. So they have to write it here. Then who has done the job? The name. Okay. If it is the same person who has done all the activities, then he can just copy and paste the names. That is not a problem.
Maybe explain category.
Yeah, I am going to explain. So here we have mentioned repair, maintenance, overhaul and other, right? Hurry, you have marker. So what is the difference? How will it affect your calendar? The priority calendar in the back, okay? There is a way it will affect, okay? How? Some activity was due for tomorrow, right? So let us say that you have done it as a part of repair today. Replacement of worm gear. Let us say that the gap is too wide. For example, a particular activity, replacement of worm gear, it is scheduled for next week. Next week, let us find a name. Thank you. Let us say that it is scheduled for next Saturday, okay, 17th, and it is a monthly activity, okay. So that means 17, 12, 16. This is scheduled, but Unfortunately, today is 8th, right?
Yeah.
9th of December, 8th of December. So 8th of December, the part has already worn out, or there is no way that we can use the part anymore. So this is where failure happened. Okay, so that means you will do that replacement as that is to be considered as repair, right? Not maintenance,
Yeah.
because this is where you planned it. So that means you will consider it as repair. And let us assume that this activity is a monthly activity. You have to replace every month, assumption. Okay. So that means, as per your schedule, if you have done on 17th of December and you have updated it, it will automatically go into 17th of January. But since you have done it as a part of repair, okay, so the calendar will change automatically. Your only job is to update it here as part of repair. Here, you have to categorize it as repair. This activity was scheduled for next week, but you have done it as part of repair. Okay, so in that case, what will happen is it will shift automatically that month. Okay, instead of going here, it will shift in the middle,
8th of January. Yeah.
and it will skip this date. If you have categorized it as repair, but if you have considered it as maintenance, in that case, it will still come on to the scheduled maintenance period. So that means it will still indicate you again.
Your next maintenance will be 17th.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Why we classified is because, and overhauling is also considered same like repair. So repair and overhaul will do the same way. Will go in the same way. Okay. This maintenance, why is it? Because repair. Why is it? Because we have to skip this date. The activity is not going as per the plan. So that means you have to skip that date. Anyway, you have done the activity. We don't need to do that maintenance again. So that is the only reason why we have defined repair, maintenance, and overhaul. Okay. Normally these three categories. Other is not, but other will go the same way as repair. So only maintenance is the exception. If you have considered it as part of maintenance, this will happen. Maintenance will help you. When we have classified this calendar and it is a one-time activity, but you cannot expect every time maintenance to fall on the same date, right? For example, calendar is showing that replacement of worm gear in packaging 2, follow-up motor must be done tomorrow. But tomorrow, there is no maintenance, correct? So it may go 2 or 3 days later within that 10 days schedule. But anyway, it will be within that plus or minus 5 days, right? It will be 5 days before or 5 days ahead. Within that, we are doing continuously maintenance every 10 days once. So, maintenance, you have to choose maintenance in that case, the day you are doing the activity, because the day doesn't match, doesn't mean that you are considering it as repair. It's because you didn't get time that day. But it must not be prolonged. It must not be prolonged. What I mean by prolonged is, it was due for tomorrow, and tomorrow there is no maintenance. Within the next 10 days, there will be definitely one maintenance. But you have to do it within that time, that maintenance. You have to plan. That is why we have prioritized it, right? It was due by 1 day. You cannot skip that activity. And remember, we can never skip any activity here. If you have not done that activity, as long as you do it, it will always keep on reminding you. The due date will be, tomorrow the due date will change to 0. Whatever is 1 will become 0. Then it will become -1, -2, -3. Negative means you are overdue. If -50 means you are overdue by 50 days. 50 days before you must have done this activity. That is the meaning. Is that clear? So this is what they must know. So until now, we have seen update, right?
No, that place, when, for example, there's maintenance that day now, was that not the very day it was scheduled for? So there's maintenance and you did it. You know, it's not jump like repair.
Yes.
Now the next maintenance now come As maybe maintenance not come, maybe because of maybe no stock or something, they not do other maintenance. And it didn't fall on that day. Are you going to still check that same part that was done as maintenance again? Because of the old and scheduled times.
See, that is why I said that the maintenance will fall within every 10 days, right?
Yes.
So for you, the due date of plus or minus 3 really doesn't matter, or plus or minus 5 doesn't matter. But the time it goes overdue, that is where you really need to care.
Okay.
Correct? For example, this is the day you are supposed to do, and the part is still okay, but maintenance didn't fall on this day. It will keep on increasing due date.
Yes, yes.
So it will go negative, but no problem as long as plus 5, still okay, no? But within that time, definitely
Plus
that
5 or minus 5.
I mean, 5 days from
Minus
you add
5.
5 days to it, minus 5. Due date, due it will show minus,
So minus.
but I am adding plus 5 days to it. That is what I want to do.
Okay, okay.
So it's not a problem. So, but you must do it within the next maintenance. That is the meaning, correct? But for repair, once you have done repair, it will adjust it will shift the calendar itself. Okay. So that is it. And that is what I wanted to remind you. You cannot delete any activity. As a tail end user, they cannot delete any activity. Is that clear? Yeah. So what they do is, for example, I am updating one activity. Okay, line 1, packaging 2, follow up motor, replacement of worm gear, done today, category maintenance, let us say 0.5 minutes, job done by ABC, okay, the engineer's name. So let us say that this activity was done, you want to update. I have pressed update here, okay. So it is still updating, okay. So at a time you can update up to 10 activities. Yeah. It is still updating.
Information is too much now.
The
Information that
Yeah.
file is heavy now.
No, also my computer is a little bit slow. That's all. So you can see, once it has updated, it has modified the table. So it is asking you to whether to save. You can press continue. Yes.
It has changed.
No, it has not changed.
Not changed yet.
It will reflect in your display once you close and open it
Open
again.
again.
Okay, so this is where people will ask you question. It is not working. Once they updated, like Tolu will call you, it is not working, or the person in Port Harcourt will call you. Just tell them to close with this saving. After saving it, once they reopen, it will work.
There cannot be a refresh button.
Yeah, we can put, but I didn't think about it. We can do that. So let us. Actually, it looks bigger in my screen, but it's because of the projector, the resolution. It's not showing. All the, you cannot see modify F, Y, cancel. So you can see now, before the replacement of worm gear, it has disappeared. It might have gone somewhere at the below, based on the duration. If it was a monthly active.
Search.
Hmm?
Can you find?
No, as of now, no. There is one more challenge, okay? We can.
Search now. You can now search
From-
line,
yes,
line,
correct,
and
correct.
To know exactly where it is.
Correct.
Line 2, line this, and station 1.
But this one can be done only separately.
You can pull information, that same one, exactly what problem you can pull it. You see, it will be back. It will be down.
See, actually we can add more features and options, but your only challenge will be the memory.
Yes.
Once you are consuming more memory, this system will be more slow.
Yeah.
You can see that when we introduced the system, when I was doing the first presentation, it was not taking this much time. But now we added more activities, you can see it is delaying. That is why some options are not automated.
The report for the last month that you 24, correct? Percentage, your presentation itu increase suddenly.
2936. Even I am confused. I have to discuss with Madam Tina whether she has combined 2 months data or not. I am also confused, but anyway, I will confirm her with her.
I just assume maybe utility or what, right? Why increase significantly, right?
But we can check here if it utility is added.
I was surprised, right?
I will check. I will discuss with Madam Tina. But even when I was making that graph, I was also confused. How come suddenly 3000 activities?
Yes,
Okay, I will check that one. So you have seen that. You have seen that it is adding. Okay. So now you can see packaging. Packaging 2, the activity has gone beyond. It will take more time, Barry. Yeah.
I know how to start.
Yeah. So now let me tell you, I have told the differences between OTA and Potar code. Now let me tell you the positive thing, what they have done in Potar code. Here we have a separate space for update, right? And here the system we have now, it is little complicated. Means it takes more time. For example, they have to update. In a day, let us say that they have done hundreds of inspection. The number of activities they have done is more. So we have to update one by one, right? It is a difficult job for the FM secretary or Tolu. But in Potar code, they only click this activity, it will open a file, okay. So it is very less time consuming.
But if I look what their activity mostly repair.
Yes.
Not the what the plan or the activity.
Correct.
They
Yes.
repair if
Correct.
what did they do, right?
Correct. Anyway, I have already told the difference. It is kind of predictive. They predict the problem, then they plan for it. That is how they are doing currently.
But if you take this one, automatically update, okay?
Yes.
But after we don't know, they work, they don't know.
It's the same thing here also, right? That one in OTA also the same, right? In OTA also,
But still, this guy, lady also checking, okay, they done.
I mean, the tick is done by the engineer who is doing the activity, right? That one is accountability issue. That one we cannot do anything now. It's just like I am giving a job to you, okay, and you are not doing. I cannot say anything. That is your accountability issue.
And only that.
That is why when you are implementing the system in other factories, even in OTA also, it is our duty to verify and validate. And when we are leaving, we must hand over it to technical manager. Let him verify. It is his people doing. We must hand over properly. We have to tell him the constraint with that. Then you will live for 100 years. Good evening. We are just talking about you. Yeah.
Maybe you can ask Tina the day this Tina check.
Yes. Madam, just now we were discussing the preventive maintenance activities, okay? You are updating every month, right? The percentage calculations, right? We saw suddenly the last month and the previous month, the number of activities have shoot up. Do you know the reason? Not just 100%, the total number of activities. It has reached almost 3000. But did we add a utility to it?
No, there's no utility.
But he sent a mail to add.
Yes, then we should be doing utility.
But until now you have not added.
We even asked to leave, they started. I asked to do because to do is the one. So I asked her.
But suddenly it has increased to 3000 activities.
10,000.
Yes, the last report you have sent, you can check yourself.
10,000.
It is up to 3000 activity, 2936.
2,936.
Yeah,
Maybe they did more activities. So.
but
Not suddenly, right?
Suddenly.
Where they bring that?
Okay, that means what you have.
hope you have not repeated.
No, I'm not repeating anything.
You are following the same procedure, right?
Yeah,
How we.
I'm not. I said maybe when they were updating, they repeated what they entered.
From their end, not possible.
From there.
No.
So that-
From your end only, I am suspecting actually.
No, it's not.
Okay, I will.
You can come
Tomorrow?
and check.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
You can come and check.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So utility they have not added until now. So up to this we must know. No, I mean what I have told as a positive when it comes to Potar code is the computer time consuming the time we consume for spending for this activity. This one they have reduced, but they got idea from OTA, then they improved it. Anyway, they are advanced. So if there is a possibility, we can follow that system only for that thing. Okay, instead of updating here every time. So this is what the difference between OTA and Porter code, the third difference. So until this only we expect the people to learn. When you are giving them the training on this, until this they must know. Okay. Apart from this, if they face any challenge with this, they have to come to you. Or there must be somebody whom you can find the right and dedicate it to them. That is how we can do. Because once we allow them to go to the resource and the database, then they will start using that for everything. So this is, so up to this is clear, right? Okay. So I will let you know how, for example, when I select the drop down, how line 1 to line 6 and silo appears. I will let you know. So how it is basically, what is the backdrop, what is the background behind this, I will let you know. So as I said, this is just a form. Okay, we don't teach them to close the form like this. We always ask them to close with the button, cancel. Once they cancel the button, it will completely exit the system. Okay, they will not come to know anything. But once they close the file, they can see the database also. Not visible, it is still hidden, but there is a way they can do it. Okay, so we should not allow them to do it. For example, if you want to know the backdrop of this, you can close the form like this, then try to reopen it again. Okay, click no. Now even if they have come by mistake to this place, see, we made only a blank sheet so that they will not adjust anything. So come to unhide. There are 3: list and calendar. So these are the 2 areas. These are the 2 sheets based on which the calendar activity is displaying and updating automatically. Okay. So this is where the initial setting. That is why I write int set. I named this worksheet as int set. Means initial settings. So here, this is what is displayed in your form. Right? Silo, mixer, alkaline tank, feeder, dough presser, continuous presser. If yes. Okay. So why I ask you to learn this is because you cannot add one by one activity. Because at a time, if you are implementing in Pasta, you may have to add 500 activities together. So you can just copy from their worksheet and paste it in your, correct. You don't need to add one by one using the form, add form. But don't teach the same way to the factory people, because they will misuse this. Okay. So you have to come to this place, int set.
Copy only, correct? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Faster.
Correct. That is why. I am expecting you to know this.
These sheets,
Hmm.
can they be locked?
Yes,
It's already locked. That is why I said no.
Just hide and
See, if you close this file, if you open it again, it will hide.
Yeah.
So I am putting you through everything now. Basically, they cannot come to this area unless you teach them. Okay. Even I have told you, by mistake, if they enter, it will be still hidden.
Yeah.
Okay. So here is where you can add. Like for example, carton caser, you can directly add here. If you add carton caser here, it will reflect. Oh, sorry. Carton caser. Let us say CCS. Then let us say you said 5 days, right, Barry? You can say 5 days. Every 5 days, right? You can add it here. It will reflect. So here, daily means 1. You can see it here. So daily means we have already defined how many days. 1 day. Bi-weekly means 3 days. Weekly means 7 days. We have already defined here. That is why when you select daily, it is automatically picking 1 day. So it is calculating it for due date. Okay. If you select fortnightly, every 14 days we have mentioned. Every maintenance period is calculated on present frequency 3 times in a month. So that means every 10 days. Correct. So we can classify here. Every 5 days means 5. Okay. Then if you want to add a separate line, you can add it here. Line 7, line 8, you can add it here. Okay. So this is how we can do. Like packaging and auto dispenser, you have a separate section to be added. You can add it at the end. Okay. You can add it here. Like let us say carton sealer 1, carton sealer 2, carton sealer 3, something like that. You can add it here and it will display there. It's 2. Okay. So now let us see the additions, whatever we have added. Let us see how it reflects there. Okay. So this is easy way, but they should not be aware of this. They have to do the traditional way. Carton case. Okay. So what else did we add? So only here a carton case we added. So it will reflect in the database. Whatever the activities we are adding, it will show CS, CS1, CS2, all those things. So it's okay, right?
Carton case are where you added it's supposed to be on the line. It's supposed to be on there. Because the machine CS1, CS2, where it's gonna be. That's where it's supposed to show you.
No, I'm just giving an example.
Okay, yeah.
I will delete it.
Okay.
You can add.
When we add utility again, how to segregate, so charge maybe can only look
Utility, right?
running
Ah,
only look
correct.
production maybe.
Okay. No, here we have to add one more drop down.
Yeah.
Here we can write process. Here we can write utility.
Ah,
Once you select utility, only utility will come.
yes.
We can do that.
Ah.
Okay. So, or you prefer we can keep a separate file same like this. Separate because they are not going to overlap anytime. Utility is separate, process is separate. What we do is we use the same system, but we replace all the activities with utility.
Oh, utility one system.
Ah,
utility one
correct,
system.
correct.
Separate.
That will be better.
No, because here you mentioned line not. You must update because boiler it is you only mention line only choose 1, 2, 3 correct. Meanwhile it is not like this boiler, compressor,
That one we can change.
generator.
That one we can change. But I will suggest it is better to use separate system rather than adding this.
That should be updated, correct?
Yes. Also, it will increase the memory.
Yes.
If you add
It's too complex, kind of, and it take time to open.
Correct. So we can do that. So it's clear. Right?
Here how to add line 7 for example.
No, you already
No,
told us that.
I have shown here.
Oh, the same, yeah?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can do from here or you do from the other side.
See, it has already
Yeah,
hidden.
yeah.
You have seen. I have told you it will automatically hide. So let us come to list.
Calendar and list.
Yes, calendar and list. So here you can see we have added carton case here. Here, if we add line 7, it will automatically appear.
So, you add from here or you add from the other side yourself.
So we can add, it will automatically appear. Hmm?
No, it is for sample.
Only this is sample file. Line 7. So we can easily add this one instead of adding from here. But we always advise them to add here. Correct? Okay. So the same thing for activities. Oh, sorry. Anytime if you face something wrong like this, okay? In case, anytime, because I cannot predict when this error will appear, it can happen due to any malfunction. Just click end, it will close the file, reopen it again. Refresh it and reopen it again.
Last time several error Fulani compared to you, what happened?
Yes, not this report, downtime.
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 Not preventive maintenance.
No.
Because last time they mentioned they cannot do preventive maintenance.
No, they will normally give
They
excuse.
cannot make the report.
You know, yes, I will tell you. That one is not related to me, related to MIS. What happens is, yeah, I told you within factory, like this report folder is common. So shared folder, this one. I am accessing this folder. At the same time, from Tina's computer also we can access. From engineering office, from Fulani's computer, from quality Shomrita's laptop or quality Lawal's office, everything you can access. So MIS has given this local access for us. This is what I told them. I will talk to MIS. If you are in corporate also, you can access this. But right now this is only within OTA. The same way they have in Port Harcourt. So what happens is at times when there is no network, local network, not Wi-Fi, local network, it will not open. For example, this is where I am opening Korean bin. This 6.10. So sometimes it will show X mark, means no network, it is not connected. In that case, it will not open. So this is a problem with Emmanuel. So if this one is showing X, then only that problem will happen. This one, 6.10. So this one Emmanuel can only rectify. Sometime maybe network error. He will refresh the system and then it will only. So this is what they will complain always, that Silva's system is not working. So at times even when I go to Port Harcourt, I cannot access this. So that is why I want to tell Emmanuel so that he can discuss with Charles, so that you can any factory you are in, you can access other factories' reports. So here you can see we have managed all departments file together. So QA is working on this file. Their weight recordings report they are working here. So I asked Emmanuel to create this when I was doing Six Sigma projects, so that all department reports I can see from one system. So we continue that for our reports also. So the easiest way, like now, another way, instead of adding the information one by one here, we will come to know how we can add it as in one time, bulk. No, that is only the addition of new line or something, right? Like pasta. Pasta is not using any of this, right? So you have to add one by one, right? Instead of that, if they have a checklist, you can just replace it here. But remember, only you can replace these areas up to here. Anything that is formula related, don't touch. Because the program will still come and replace the date based on this. So you can update only up to here. For example, you are collecting pasta, okay, preventive maintenance activities, weekly activities. You copy and paste it here, and you just mention which date you want to start, like the logic, the same logic. One by one we are adding, right? Weekly means all should be same, right? So you add weekly, then you collect the monthly checklist, then mention it monthly here, then quarterly. Like that, you add one by one. You define when you want to start using the start date, and you input the man hours here. Only to copy and paste here. Okay. The rest all depending on what you give. Like for example, you define quarterly. Here is start date. You have defined when to start this activity. Automatically, this will calculate the due date and the due days. Okay. Once we delete this one, the calendar cannot refresh. It will show only one time. After you update, it will not affect. Correct. So make sure that formula don't tamper. Okay. So when you go to another factory, collect the daily, weekly, not daily, weekly, quarterly checklist, add it here, define the start date, and for the logic for date also we have already explained. For each line there is no problem, but if it is packaging, within each line 2-3 packaging machines are there, so you divide it accordingly. Correct? For example, certain activities you do in maintenance only, right? So those activities, how will you define? We have line 1, 2, 3, 1 day maintenance, right? Day 1. Line 4 and 6. This logic you have to define actually, so that it will only one time. The very first time you have to define. For example, we have packaging 1 to packaging 8, right? So if you are adding a quarterly activity or monthly activity, within 1 month we have 3 maintenance. So within 3 maintenance, this 8 packaging must be done. That is the logic. So you can club some packaging machines together, some separate, kind of, correct? Like maintenance 1, packaging 1 and packaging 2, maintenance 2, no, packaging 3 also, packaging 4, packaging 5, packaging 6, packaging 6, M3, packaging 7 and packaging 8. So with 3 maintenance, 1 month will be over. So if it is monthly activity, automatically packaging 1 will come next month. For example, this is 1st of January. This is 11th of January. 21st of January. So what you have to do, you have to mention here which packaging, location ID give packaging, which part, the activity name, then duration you select monthly, then you, for packaging 1, 2 and 3, you copy the same activity one after another, then give this date. Then packaging 4, 5, 6, copy the same, monthly, give this date. Okay? You can do this activity in the form one by one, but it is time consuming. So I am giving a shortcut. Okay? So if it is monthly, third activity, packaging 7 and 8. So this is what you do in a monthly activity within that time period, right? So if it is quarterly, what will you do? The logic is simple. Again, we have 8 packaging. We have how many maintenance?
Quarterly.
Yeah, quarterly means every 3 months.
Yes.
So 3 months times 3 maintenance, 9 maintenance.
Yeah.
So that means you can break it down. Almost every maintenance, one packaging.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1st January, 11th January, 21st January, then 1st February, 11th February. So packaging 1, packaging 2, packaging 3, packaging 4, packaging 5, until last maintenance. So once you update this one, automatically it will show in the calendar. Because it is quarterly activity, 9 maintenance we have, and we have 8 packaging machine. So we divided 1 packaging machine per maintenance. Okay. So this logic is very important. You must be clear. In pasta, in wherever the raffles, if you are implementing this, they may have different kind of maintenance. So you must think about that logic. How we can accommodate. The monthly activity means that activity must be done every month in that particular area. So you have to think about it. The logic is this only, simple. Is that clear, Barry? Yeah. So now we are going through how we can add activities one at a time, bulk, instead of adding one by one. So when you want to implement in new factory, just collect the master list, think about this logic. If there is several activities in the same section, think about this logic. Otherwise, copy the master list, update, paste it here, then just define when you want to start the activity. Once you have saved it, automatically the due date it will calculate and display. So at any point of time, this is the list that form is displaying. So all the work will be done here automatically. Only the form will display. That is why they cannot edit or delete any activity. But if they come to know that they can reach this place, they will start manipulating. If they have not done any job, they will say they have done. Or they will delete some activity if they don't want to do. So make sure that they don't reach this place. Okay? So now, Why this is in the form sheet name called a list. We have another one called calendar. What is the use of this calendar? This calendar is just a copy of this. Okay, just what we have. Okay, here, just a copy of what we have in the list. But why we need this is because every time it will display the activity based on the due date. After you check update, the date will change, right? But you must keep a record of each time you did the activity. Because what will happen is, the logic is, if you open the form, if let us say that the engineer opens this form, it will display activity the same way in like this sheet in the form, correct? Then it will show due date. These activities are due for tomorrow. They have done that activity, they tick the activities. Then Tolu will update. After she update, automatically this date will get updated.
Yes.
But the activity is done already. We must keep track of records, right? Who did it? We must have the record. Traceability. And how many times? Because this one keeps on changing the date. And it will display in the form. But we must have a record, a database. How many times we have done this activity already. That is why this calendar is here. And this is what is useful. This is what Madam Tina is using to calculate how many activities has been done for that month. Okay. So, for example, the same list, whatever is here, will be replicated here. Calendar. Here, inspection. You can see that. Okay, it has rearranged. Anyway, but it will show in the same order. Here, you can see that line 1 packaging 2 sprocket, inspection of condition of all sprockets. They have done once in 15th October as part of maintenance. They took 10 minutes to do this, done by Gabriel. Next, they have done in 14th January. Maintenance, 5 minutes by Bio. Then 19th February, maintenance. So this one is not recorded anyway. They have not mentioned the time. That is why it is wrong. Madam Tina should have corrected this. So Tayo has done. Then they have done 14th March. You can see every month they are doing. April. They are not putting the time. That is we have to correct. So these are the things we must spot and tell them. Okay. Because Madam Tina will only look at the time, that day when they have done, and she will add it as that activity has been done for that month. She is not checking the standard man hours. So that is the problem. As maintenance. Then you can see the record will be tracked. Okay. Every time they do this job. Only the time, standard man hours is not calculated. August, September, October 6.
It's
18
because
October.
this the engineering didn't record usually how many hours they do the job, right? It is not familiar,
Yes, correct,
That is the challenge.
correct.
You want to know.
Not only that, it should be, you can estimate, not need precisely, right?
Mhm.
So you can estimate, 1 hour or 30 minutes, like this, right?
Yes.
But we don't want to, because not practice currently, right?
Yeah, because it will look like a drawback. Because if somebody recorded 5 minutes for the same activity, somebody said 1 hour for the same activity, somebody did for 5 minutes, they will be question asking. That's why you see some of them are scared. Remember when they were saying, yes, that's why they are scared. It becomes competence issue. Why can this guy do it for 5 minutes and you are doing it for 30 minutes or 1 hour? So it becomes competence issue. That's why so many of them are scared to put the man out there. Except if somebody is policing them.
Correct.
So the technical head can do that. The technical head can police that.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you. Remember, the logic is, once they have done that activity, Tolu is updating, right? It will update the calendar automatically, right? At the same time, it is adding that record here.
Yeah.
So that means, remember one thing, when you are implementing in another factory, when you are adding any checklist new, make sure that you are adding, at the same time you are adding here also, that same activity. So that it will record that.
It's not replicate here.
No, automatically it will not.
That is new.
See. What I am saying, if you are copying and pasting, it will not replicate. But if you are adding from that file,
The old professional way.
the usual way, this is shortcut, no? I am giving you the shortcut way.
Yes, yes, yes.
But original way it will replicate. For example, you remember I have done gear motor.
Yeah, I get it.
I have seen it. Okay, it is arranging according to the due date. But anyway, you can see it here. I have not typed it, but it has automatically reflected here. If you are coming here and updating activity, you must update two areas. Here also and here also. List and calendar. Is that clear?
Why we must activity only, right? But actual not yet, right? Because we not yet start, right?
Yes.
Only the list only in the station.
Yes,
only
yes,
like
correct,
that, right?
correct. Because
Yes,
yeah, see here, it has updated automatically. I never typed this one because we updated it from the form,
Form.
and we want the people to do that. So
You don't
it
need
is
to
okay.
come in here to add.
We don't need to come here to add. But if you are doing it like you are adding everything together in this sheet, only for you people.
We have to now go back and update it.
Yes, when whatever you are copying, make sure that the same format you copy here also. Okay. But if you are adding from the form directly, no need. Automatically, that is the correct way. I am just telling you so that you can consume, you can reduce spending time on this. So once you want to use here, you want to copy and paste here, make sure that you copy here also. Okay. Yeah. So based on this only, what Madam Tina every month she does is, she will filter it out. She will find out on that month how many activities. Like for example, if she filter here, October month she can calculate in this form, right? Likewise, she will filter here also. Every month she will filter here. October, how many October in this column? How many October? So she will calculate the number of activities done for that month. Because only activity that is done will reflect here.
Then how do you see the total activity?
That is why she will count. She will spend
Apart
some
from
2-3
one, this
hours.
is completed now.
Huh?
This is completed activities.
Yes.
What about the one that they have not completed? Where will you copy that from?
Okay.
You
It
guys
will.
calculate it.
No, I have already told you. You check how many activities are due, 0 and minus.
Okay.
Those are the activities pending. Minus means pending.
That one in first form they will.
In the form itself, you can count how many activities are pending. Okay.
Okay. What about if you fill up something and you don't want to start, just want to put the information there, but you have not started putting the date? Can you still just save it and later you modify the date to start?
Yeah, that is what I said.
Cumbersome because sometimes when we get to a place and maybe they are not ready to start, we need to input all the information first. And once the time for them to start, we can just put the starting date. Can we do that? Or we should just complete everything and put the start and the start counting. Why if they are not even ready?
Then they will not put, maybe it will not start. Right?
It will not start.
That is, yes, we don't want it to start. We can just put it without the date. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. But my question is this. My concern is, in the form you cannot do anything again. You can just, without date, you can just copy it. You can allow them to start when, at the time they want to start. That is your.
Yes.
But if you do that, they have to still come back here, which we don't want. In the form, we cannot do that. If you are the one to take that responsibility, you can just. But as long as you don't put the start date, it will not reflect in the calendar.
Okay, yes,
It will
yes,
just
yes.
come last. That is it.
Okay.
So up to this is the. Let me close the recording.